Hey guys, real quick, this one's basically for Chris and JC. So I know JC, you're going to the game tonight. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up, what to expect, how it went. I know you guys kind of followed me last night. It was really cool, but I wanted to prepare y'all for what you were going to see when you got there, so that you kind of knew where to go. Because I was lost. I got some help from some guys. So first of all, when you get your credentials out by third base. The third base entrance, which is out near center field, is kind of no, not center field, down the left field foul pole. There's a media entrance down there, and that's where you get your credential. And you're parking back there. But you come in, there's media elevators right behind home plate. You got to walk all the way around the home plate, and there's a media elevator there, and it'll take you. They'll scan your deal and they'll take you. Now, when you come out of the media elevator in the clubhouse, it's the CC floor. CC, that's the clubhouse. And when you get up to the top, that's where the press boxes are. When you walk out, you take a right, and you're walking into the media room. So the media room goes two ways. It's got a front row, a second row, and a third row, and they're right in front. They look out those big. It's huge. I mean, I'm in Frisco. It's little bitty. So here it's huge. Now, all the front rows were the beat writers. So if you follow the Rangers, T.R. Sullivan, Levi Weaver from the Athletic, Evan Grant, all of them. Evan wasn't there last night, but all of those guys are on that front row. So the second row, the aisle goes right down the middle of the media to the front row, and then you can go up to the second row or to the third row if you want to. Now I jumped in the right as I walked in, right to the right of that was John Blake, and or was a seat right there. Well, I hooked up right there on the second row, and that's John Blake's seat. So don't sit right on the aisle either. Move down about 5 or 6 spaces on the second or third row. You've got plugs to plug in your laptop. Do all of that. Okay, during the game, just to let you know. So during the game, it's very quiet. Nobody says that they talk, but they don't talk a lot because everybody keeps score, and they're keeping a scorebook the whole time, so they'll know what's going on. If you've never kept score, JC, for you, if you've never kept score of baseball, look up how to do it. It's really how you want to do it. There's different ways to do it. I've kept score, so I know how to do it. But there's different ways. But they're going to give you a score sheet when you get there, and you just keep score on it. But it's your own way to kind of, you can remember what happened each inning and all of that in case there's something you want to do there. So I was there for a loss. So afterwards, you do have access right below. You can leave all your stuff in the media room. Right afterwards, everybody takes the elevator down, and they go into where Woody has his press conference. He does that first. After Woody does his press conference, then you can go down to the locker room. And you just kind of follow the beat writers, follow where they go to do it. Now, after a loss, truthfully, I asked one question, and I asked it to Drew Smiley. But after a loss, the guys really don't want to talk. They tell you when you can talk. So I would just be very, we don't want to get we don't want people looking at us and going, who are the heck are these guys? So we just be very careful, be respectful, ask your question if you need to. But I would just kind of, on a loss especially, there's a lot of guys like Nomar and Connor Falafa and all of them are kind of sitting around. You could technically go up and ask them a question, but I think on a loss, there's not really, unless the rest of the press has asked them questions, maybe you don't just go find a guy and try to ask them a question. I kind of went where everybody would go to, like they went to Drew Smiley, who was pitching last night, and then they went to Chris Martin, who gave up the home run to Chris Davis. So they're going around to those guys, and I just kind of stuck my microphone in to do all of that. And part of that, after everyone left, I had Drew one-on-one, and there's just a couple things I wanted to ask him real quick. But don't feel like you got to ask a question. You're there to do a job. You can kind of report on what you're doing and all of that. But we want to slow play it till we figure this thing out. Once you've done it one time, I'm totally confident. I know exactly where to go now. You'll learn it today, JC, and where to go. JC, I know you were telling me about wearing your shirt and it had the T on it and all of that. Nobody up there wore Texas Ranger stuff, so I don't know if you might just want to wear a button-up shirt or something. So it kind of puts you off because you're press, and the press, like the Oakland people, they're not wearing Oakland stuff. They're just wearing their normal stuff, and I noticed that, and so I had wore just a button-up shirt is what I wore, and I didn't want to go in because I've got all Ranger gear, hats and shirts and all that, and I knew I didn't want to wear that there. But so anyway. So you might just put a button up shirt or a like a golf shirt or something like that. Nobody's real. It's not real formal. You can wear jeans and tennis shoes and just wear a button up shirt and you'll be fine in doing that. Now, right behind the press box, when you're up in the press box, literally right behind it, there is there's a like a cafeteria, and all the media, CJ and all the radio, TV, and you and everyone, you're allowed to eat there, but they get to eat for free. We are daily press credentialed people. It's like a buffet. You go up, there's a cashier, and you pay them $12.75. You get all the drinks you want. You get all the Cokes and sodas or water that you want. But as far as food goes, you pay her $12.75 and you get all the food you want. Now, if you're going to get there early, JC, I'd try to get there by no later than 4 so you can kind of get the lay of the land and get set up. And see and kind of walk around. You can see where those booths are, and don't be afraid to tell somebody, "Hey, it's my first time to cover them. Dallas Sports Nation, we're new covering it. I'm just kind of here." And you might even just say, "I'm here," because there's a lot of guys for like the ticket, or people that are just there to get tape and stuff like that for other shows and things. But you have that credential. So, just don't be afraid to go Dallas Sports Nation for the Rangers Nation pod or whatever, getting some tape or doing whatever. And then, you want to if you want to write up the game that night, that's your deal. That's great. I'm not going to write up every game. I'm going to do once a week stuff, kind of the way they do. But when y'all are there, obviously, do your deal. But it's really cool. It's really neat. You totally have access. You have access to the field before the game during batting practice. You do have access. You go down and you go down and get on there. I went to the dugout. You saw where Mark Teixeira was there. He was doing the deal. They're doing the countdown of the home games. So you can do that for Mark to go down to the field, to the dugout. I did not interview any players down there. I kind of watched around to see if anyone was interviewing players. I didn't see the press actually talking to any of the players while they were practicing, so I don't know that we can do that. But if you're just wanting to go down, maybe get a little video and something that you can put on Twitter for the Texas Power Hour or whatever. Hey, Rangers getting warmed up or whatever. I think as us guys, we need to slow play this. We're there, and I think as it goes, our faces are going to become familiar. And there's just when you're a new face, they all kind of look at you the first time. They're like, but by the end of the game, man, nobody cared. You're just part of the deal and all of that. So our main thing is we don't want to go in there and be we don't want to be the faces looking at us for things. So that's why I didn't ask questions. I did ask Drew that one question, but I knew what I wanted to ask him. If you don't feel comfortable asking a question and you're not sure if you want to ask the question, dude, it's cool. Because I didn't know that I wanted to ask a question or anything. And so I wanted to slow play that. But you're there getting tape, and that tape is important and all of that. And we'll put it on the podcast. I'll put tape on the podcast when you guys are there. If y'all just get it off your phone, download it, email it to me, and I'll get it on the podcast and I'll credit. Hey, Chris was there on this day, and he got Woody's this and that, and so because now we're media, and dudes, we're media, and it's cool, and so we don't want to lose Dallas Sports Nation. So I wanted to make sure y'all knew what I experienced when I was there. You're about to experience it too when you get in there, and you're going to see, and you're gonna learn as you get there and go, okay, this is cool. So we're good to do this. Anyway, that's what this one was about. Really awesome. I can't thank Ricky and Adrian enough for this. This is really cool, guys. This is so neat what we're getting to do up there. And you guys, you too, Chris, you and JC, y'all ought to consider it's very easy to get a credential for the Frisco Rough Riders. You might consider doing that if you want to do a little piece about the minor leagues or a play or something. You can't really interview the players there. That's the thing. Media day, I got to do that during the game and all that. If you really want to talk to them before the game, you got to give them a heads up, Ryan, and he'll do it. But after the game, you don't get access to the locker room. So anyway, they don't do a press conference. The manager doesn't do a press conference like Woody does because they're not the big leagues. They kind of protect their players, I think. Anyway, this was really cool. It was really exciting. I really had a blast. JC, good luck tonight. That's really cool. I'm excited for you to go tonight. Tweet tonight. Let us know what's going on. If you get a chance to get in there and get me some good tape, get it to me, and I'll get it out and do that. Chris, I don't know when you're going, but that's awesome. Let me know. All right, that's what it was.